we'll do this thing. So. Hey everybody, another post podcast here for National Agriculture Week, and one of our sponsors of our podcast this week is Western Nebraska Bank, and we have Tom Kelly. He's the branch manager with the bank and one of the vice presidents. And I mean, we were just talking off the air a little bit about your background in ranching, and kind of take people through that because you're a local guy with lots of roots in the agricultural business.
Yeah, I grew up on a fourth generation cow-calf ranch north of Sutherland, Nebraska, and anyways, I ended up going to college at the University of Nebraska in Lincoln. I majored in agricultural economics, and I ended up starting off in the meatpacking industry and had an opportunity to move back closer to home. That just worked out better for me so that I could be involved with the ranch as well as the bank.
Absolutely. Well, and talk about your family's background.
Yeah, so we actually we came across from Ireland in the 1800s. Our family originally homesteaded in the bottom of Lake McConaughey.
No kidding.
Yep. And when they started construction there at McConaughey, we ended up having to move over and we settled north of Sutherland, and we've been there ever since.
That's a story I don't get to hear every day. I love that. So,
yeah.
Well, this is National Agriculture Week. One of the reasons that we wanted to do this series of podcasts was to spotlight, obviously, the importance in the area of agriculture. It's a trickle-down effect, right? So it starts at the top with our bread and butter, which is agriculture for this area. North Platte, a railroad town, but why is it a railroad town? Ultimately, it's because of agriculture. And you in the banking business understand more than a lot of people that trickle down that I talk about.
Yeah, I think North Platte's a great community, and we've got a lot of opportunity here. Both with agriculture. People confuse it with a railroad only town, but I don't know exactly how this would look, but I know that a majority of the businesses here in North Platte are directly or indirectly connected to agriculture, and Western Nebraska Bank is a great supporter of both industries. We've got 4 locations. They're located in Paxton, North Platte, Thedford, and Curtis, and we are a majority ag bank. We have local ownership, and we like working with people that like to work.
We're talking with Tom Kelly here today on our Ag Week podcast, and he's one of the branch managers with Western Nebraska Bank. You mentioned you went to school, kind of a meat packing in background. The big news the last week sounds like we're going to have a meat packing plant coming to town. Your thoughts on that? I mean, I think most in the industry think this is great news.
Yeah, I think it is great news. The economic impact that would have in our North Platte area here would be substantial. Not only the new jobs, but I think we've got open seats in our schools. We've got, our housing market could use a kick, and this might drive something like that. And just, the taxes the city will get back from this would be outstanding.
The other thing I wanted to ask you about, Tom, is FFA and these kids. 4-H is of course involved in that as well. But the next generation, it's important that we talk about the trickle down with the economic side. We need that same thing to happen when it comes to the future rancher, that future farmer. Yeah,
and that's, really that's one of the larger issues that we face is how do we keep younger generations coming back to these smaller towns? And I think it's absolutely crucial that we keep kids involved in agricultural programs, including what you just mentioned. It's very difficult for younger producers, men and women, to get involved in agriculture. The startup costs are substantial, and the more experience you have in the industry and the more connections you make really helps open some doors for you.
I was going to say, what is that step? Is FFA and 4-H, obviously, if you have a family operation, that's probably the biggest caveat to success, but there's got to be some other options. What are some of those?
Absolutely. FFA and 4-H are great options. But when you're of the age where you can actually start to get involved in business, there are some great options out there right now. The FSA we work with directly through the bank, and they have great low rate options for beginning farmers and ranchers. There are also PPP loans available right now that we can help you help you apply for those right at the bank. Come in and see us. And we've also utilized the Small Business Association to help shore up some maybe some collateral issues that a younger person might be experiencing.
We just want to see that next generation get an idea and get to going, because they are definitely our future. Tom Kelly's been our guest with Western Nebraska Bank. Thank you so much for taking just a little bit of time. It's always intriguing to me to hear the perspective of different folks throughout the area, especially with the banking background as well. I think that's super important for those that are probably listening today. So Tom, thanks so much.
Yep, no problem. Thanks for having me here.
Perfect.